Hey, this is Richard Huvard with Staats Bikes. We're here at the East Coast National in Severn, Maryland. Got the Staats rig out here for the first time back east in a long time. We're going to be out here all summer on the East Coast, so we're excited about that, trying to get the bikes out in front of everybody and the brand name back in front of people. I know it's been a while since a lot of these folks have seen Staats, so that's why we're here. Southern California-based company, founded in 1995 by Steve Staats. Jason Halverson took it over about 5 years after that, who's now the product manager at GT. And he had some partners. We ended up picking up the company about a year and a half ago and saw an opportunity to rebrand what was a great brand, and both with Chiari and Staats, and get some good product out there on the racetrack. It's where the races are. It's where the races are. You know something, I've been doing this for about over 20 years. And in all my travels, I'm on kid number 4, and he's our midlife blessing. Our older kids are all postgraduates. So this is a 4th time around and a major 2nd time around for us. And all that time traveling, I've always noticed, and I think it's pretty evident to everybody, that BMX is a very regionalized sport. And if you go to the East Coast, you'll see lots of other companies that you don't see on the West Coast. And last year I was sitting in, I think it was Connecticut, with my wife Andrea and Levi, my little guy, and on a picnic table I was just taking note of every bike that rode by me, and half of them aren't bikes we see on the West Coast, and of course the bikes I have out there that we see out there I sell in a shop that we also run at our track. You don't see those out here, so for Staats we thought it was important, if we wanted to be a national bicycle company, and we do sell complete bikes as well as frames, and we have a whole line of parts with Chiari, that it was important, critical in fact, for us to get out here to the East Coast where the races are this summer and show bikes to people who haven't seen these things except online, really. You know, my personal background is in the design business. I also own a design and branding agency, and you know, there's a lot of different ways to innovate in the bicycle business. BMX, obviously not as technical as mountain biking. We're not dealing with suspension and that kind of thing. Obviously different materials like carbon have come into play, and our new carbon fork I think is probably one of the most innovative products on the market right now, Victor the First. And it's continuous carbon, which means it's one piece of carbon from the top of the steer tube all the way down to the dropouts, hand laid. Really a bulletproof fork, and just a tad over about 17 to 18 ounces with the top cap. But it's hard to innovate like that all the time. A BMX bike, you know, is a triangle and a triangle, and we can play with geometry, but as a lot of riders know, there are a few proven geometries out there. What we really wanted to do with Staats is build a great riding bike that maintains some of the profile and heritage of the original Staats designs that were upgraded for today and today's more technical tracks, and also create a very beautiful bike. I mean, our whole mantra here is beautiful bikes and beautiful product, and to really pay attention, as they do maybe in some more of the other cycling disciplines, on creating just a work of art in a bicycle. And we really think of the bicycle as a work of art. We all love bicycles out here, and we wanted to build the most beautiful bicycle that you could find to take on a BMX track. And I think we did it. We call this the House of Staats, and just like everything else, you know, our approach is truly to be, you know, to truly raise the bar in terms of a factory presence. My background, you know, I was partners with Mike Redmond for many years in the Redmond Yamaha program. I think we did it there in terms of raising the bar in presentation, and I think that's important to elevate what's going on at the races and make the event feel more special. This pit area came together, you know, I had obviously built some big pit areas before with Redmond, and actually before that in the mid to late 90s when I ran the Diamondback program. But here I wanted to do something that maybe wasn't as large as we were with Redbone, but had an impact in a different way, and we ended up using a bunch of copper. The only thing I worry about with this is that it doesn't get gaffed in the middle of the night at one of the races. It's probably worth a pretty penny in scrap, but my partner, Frank Marino, my dear partner at my racetrack at home at Freedom Park in Camarillo, California, he's a plumber, like a big plumber, you know, plumbers that do big buildings, and he did all the welding work for me on the copper, and I thought the copper had just a very rich look, and like the bicycles that we're building, we wanted it to have a sense of heritage and quality and just uniqueness in design, and something that would really attract the attention of the potential customer. I think we're doing that. We have fire as well.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like bike survival.
That's right. We have fire. I'm thinking we should get a line of Congo drums back here too, but we haven't made that happen yet. I'll be looking for other ways to make some impact once this gets to be second nature to everybody seeing the Staats rig. We'll have to find a way to top ourselves again. It is our parts component line.
Okay.
Yeah. So with Chiari, we do headsets, stems, forks, both chromoly and again our Victor 1 carbon fork. We're coming out with a junior version of that fork called the Piccolo that'll come out around Interbike in September. Chain rings, chainring bolts, spacers, just your basic lineup of componentry. And again, with Chiari as well as with Staats, the whole inspiration was to create just some very attractive, very nice looking parts that function well, good simple design for the bicycle. We do, and we're trying to rebrand the category because you know, I know that there's the Kleenex brand out there, and everybody knows Kleenex is just tissue, but we've actually branded our bike a BBX bike for bicycle balance cross. So we sell a lot of BBX bikes, or we've started selling a lot of them. We do call it the Wolf Pup. We have them in 2 colors right now, and we're hoping to add, you know, we're big on colorways here, so we're hoping to add a rainbow of colors as we get further into the BBX category. Everybody likes color. And it is more difficult for us to forecast what's going to sell. It's more difficult for us to carry all the different colorways. When we do a run of 300 or 500 frames or bikes, it sounds like a lot, but when you start breaking that down over 10 sizes and 7 colorways, we'll start running out pretty quickly. But again, we're a design company. We really wanted to give people a choice in terms of a color for a bicycle. And we don't just make a red bicycle, we don't just make a blue bicycle. One of the ways that we wanted to brand and market the bikes was by the colorway, because our red bicycle utilizes a 2 different colors. There's 3 colors on all the bikes. We use a signature, we call it a Spanish white. It's similar to what you would have seen on sort of a 1961 Porsche. If you look at a lot of the Bloodline, if that's the whole lineup of bikes, the inspiration for those bikes was just some classic auto racing colors. French blue, Italian red, British green. We call it a Ventura yellow, and then we bring in that Spanish white, and that same white you can find on all of our components as well, meaning our painted components and our bars and our forks, our chromoly forks, so that as you put together a Bloodline frame with a Chiari bar or fork, if you're not running the carbon fork, you can mix and match the red bar on the green bike, or the white bar, or the green bar or fork, and really create a unique look. One of the things that you'll notice as you walk by our pits, none of our team bikes, our team issue bikes for our factory riders, are exactly the same. They look the same from a distance, but as you approach them, one has a red bar, one has a green bar. They're all built on the Gran Premio, which is the Spanish white frame with the red and green graphics. So again, each of those colorways has a different name. The Camaroso, the blue bike with the red and white graphics, we call the Continental. The Motoban is the black with the red and white graphics. and because it's truly not a black bike. It's a black bike, but it has this very strong, and they're full frame graphics that we apply, and then we use a clear over it. So it's just not a sticker, and they're graphics that cover a lot of the frame, including the underneath side of the down tube. So again, we don't think the black bike is truly just a black bike. It's a black bike with a lot of red and Spanish white on it, and we call that the Motobahn.